Generations are formed by significant events or trends during the multiple years of an age cohort. It used to be generations were defined by one step in your ancestry, which is why they were 15 to 20 years, because that's typically how long the step in your ancestry was. But today, how fast the world is moving, it's now significant events, trends, technology, innovation is all impacting how generations during the multiple years of an age cohort, how they're behaving, how their expectations, it's shaping their values, it's shaping their perspectives. And so there's much more now that's imprinting these emerging generations, which is causing the generation spans to shrink, as we'll note here in just a minute. Did you know that the baby boomers are the only officially labeled generation by the U.S. Census Bureau? Yeah, give it up for the boomers. Yes, you're the only real generation. So, of course, the U.S. Census Bureau knew that there was a huge baby boom, right? Folks were coming back from the war, having a lot of babies, and then there was a very distinct decline to the birth rate due to, any guesses? Shout it out if you think you know. Yes, someone said it back there? The pill, yes, birth control, the introduction of birth control. Decline, caused all of the baby births to really decline. So there was this huge baby boom, and the U.S. Census Bureau had never seen anything like it, so they felt so compelled to actually label it. And that was the first and likely the last time that a government entity will actually step in and label a generation. So all of the other generations before and after the baby boomers have been labeled because of or by media agencies, generational experts. The generations themselves have had a hand in creating the names for generations. So certainly not exact science, but this at least gives you an idea of how it started. Age is a common predictor of differences in attitudes and behaviors. I think we can all agree on that. A 25-year-old has different values, expectations, attitudes, behaviors than, say, a 45-year-old or 65-year-old. And then lastly, as I mentioned, generational spans, which are typically 15 to 20 years, are shrinking due to heightened exposure. The emerging generations now, because they have one of these in the palm of their hand, they can be exposed to global events in real time. So there's much more exposure, and thus it's shaping and creating different behaviors and expectations. And so likely we'll see the generational spans shrink to 10 years, maybe even 5 years. Many argue that the millennial generation could be split into two generations, the Oregon Trail generation of millennials, and then there's the younger millennials that grew up actually with mobile technology. And so they are a little bit different. So I think millennials could probably be split in two as well. But just know, moving forward, there's going to be more and more generations, and that's why this is a relevant conversation.